couple projects to the left.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
If you look in your board letter, you approved the bill for the nuclear back elementary school installed and just finishing up the wiring, which will be handicap accessible. Bill Howes had talked with the Buildings and Grounds Committee about the possibility, that would be Dave and Brad, about doing some repair work to swim around the parking lot at this Rack Elementary School. And I think everyone has a front and back sheet from Fort Dodge Asphalt in front of them. It describes, I think it's 6 areas where we need work done, or where Phil's proposing that there be work done. And Fort Dodge Asphalt is the only quote that we have. And all of those projects total $63,850. And I was talking before the meeting with Dave and with Shirley. I think, Shirley, you said you can help us get in contact maybe with some other asphalt companies through the DOT. Because really anything at $60,000, we need to have another quote on it. So if it's kind of a matter of, I don't think the argument is about whether the work needs to be done, it's just making sure we've got the lowest quote. Would I be right in saying that? Okay. So I'll just wait for you to get hold of me, and then we can get hold of a couple of other companies then and see what we can get for information. Bruce is going to has already contacted Fisher Track Company, and they're going to be coming out to take a look at the track at the SAC facility, and that was an agreement we had a year ago. Now that when the track season is over, they'd be out to take a look at it, and I think I'm sure before June we're going to have some information from them about whatever work they see that needs to be done. And that's the company that has been doing the work all along, and I think they're the ones that actually put that track in. So that's why that company is the one that we stuck with, I believe.
So we'll need to bid on that too.
Well, it'll depend on what it comes in. They're going to give us an estimate of what the work might be, and then if it looks like it's going to be a big project, then we will have to have another quote. And we've got names of other track companies, so that one won't be so hard for us to find.
Mike, can you tell me when the last time
It's been quite a few years again. Yeah.
I know what the
It
last
flies
one.
by and you forget really how many years, but that track's starting to show its wear. It's got spots on it where asphalt's showing. That means the whole layer of track that they should be running on is completely gone. So
you have to go down to the base then.
On that I don't know, but there's some real spots that are showing.
I think we set up something on the track to do something. I don't remember what it was, but it was just redone. But I don't remember what it was.
Well, they took everything out the last time.
Yeah.
So the asphalt part itself should be okay. It's just the layering on top that probably they're going to talk about. But then you're going to have to paint it again because you can't do any work without painting it. It's just a process.
So the base is okay, but you just need to reset.
Well, I would think the base is okay. That was just
The
put in
real
again.
Fisher
But
Track Company, not
hope-
this
No.
Fisher.
No,
Will probably tell us
hopefully,
that.
I really hope for everyone's sake that the base is okay because then you're looking at a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, it's not our deal, it's Saks, but it's a nice facility, and you want to take care of it while it's still in a repairable state rather than a rebuilding state.
Well, I believe a couple, 3 years ago, it would have, yeah, probably about maybe 3-4 years ago, Fisher Track came out and looked at it and said, you know, you've got about 2 or 3 years left on this. And then last year they stopped and said, after this next track season, we're going to be back because we know you're going to need some work done. So I think they come every year, actually, if I'm not wrong, and just take a look at it. It's not like they ignored it. I don't know if they just stop or if Bruce asks them to come. But I know that they've been keeping an eye on it. So at that next board meeting, though, I'll have something for you so you know what's going on with that. The bottom bullet on here is that we've been replacing those black stage curtains. They're not the front curtains, but just several layers of curtains. And every year we've replaced a couple of those because they hadn't been replaced for a long time. So this is the 3rd year. We've got 6 of those replaced, like $3,100 or $3,200 for a pair of those curtains, and we get them from the company that we'd originally bought them from. But that's just to keep it updated because there were rotting spots in it, and then they start to tear. And so we just have been in kind of a replacement plan, and that was just an FYI to you that we've done that. Go
That
ahead.
probably is as old as the school.
You think so?
I don't remember ever.
David. Well, no wonder they're rotten then. Well, Bruce and I were out there, and I grabbed the curtain. I just grabbed it because it was kind of a clean, kind of folded. I just grabbed it, and there was like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look what I have done. And Bruce was laughing because he said, that's what they all do if you do that. But he hadn't told me they were that bad, because when I just grabbed it to pull it apart to look at it, it just ripped about like this. I'm like, oh crap.
How many more do we have left then?
There's either 2 or 4. That's all that's left. Yep.
And then, how often do you have to dry clean the red?
It's been dry cleaned once since I've been at SAC, so that's been in the last 4 years, and they actually come in and dry clean that. But it's going to be one of those times when they do that, it's going to go, it's going to be the same thing, and that will be pretty costly to replace. How old would that be?
Right?
If it's original.
Well, if they're on 70, I can tell you that. So it's at least 40.
What do you
You know
know?
what that was? Maybe older.
Well, if you think of those red curtains at how heavy they are, I wonder they have it. More, actually. The only other thing that I don't have written on the SAC side of Pebble is that we have some quotes from Carol Painting for both the elementary cafeteria and for the gym at SAC, and we have not been able to get a second quote. And talking to Shirley and Dave before the meeting, one of the things we're wondering about is if the cafeteria might not be something we want to get a quote from Larry, telling he's been looking at you now, Mike, and Japanese House and those guys. That might be something that they could do and give us a quote, just so that we got another price on it.
Okay.
You know? And the gym, I don't know if Kelly and those guys are interested in that at all, because the scaffolding and...
Well, maybe it'd be expensive, you remember?
I have no idea. But Steve has contacted, we got a hold of Carol, and the
And
time,
I told them the story about
the time
Cherokee.
frame, but Cherokee won't give us a bid. How many times have you called them?
It's kind of confusing. I've called them, I'll bet 6, 7 times. Just give us a bid. You know, if you're not interested, please tell me. Yeah, we'll get right back to you. Well, it's a week later, nothing. And they have been out to see the gym, so it's not like they don't know what the project is.
So what we probably need to do is ditch them. We just need to get a second price to make sure that we feel like, I mean, Carol Painting has done painting in Wallingford a number of times, and they do good work, but we just need to probably get another price so that we can see. Yeah.
Has Bruce talked anything about the leaking out of
What's the bid for the gym now?
25,777.
They painted this gym 8 years, well,
Probably.
8 years, maybe 10 years ago. I can look up that.
And they painted the Wall Lake gym about 2 years before that. They do go really good. The problem we're having is the time frame. Everybody's getting so busy, and we need to do this in sequence. First of all, we got basketball camps. The floor has to be done, and they need so much time in there to do this, and that's why it's been such a crunch time for us to try to get quotes for everybody to look at, because in fact, Carol Payne called us the other day and said, hey, I really need to know, I got 4 or 5 guys after me, and we said, well, we're trying to decide what we're going to do here. That's what we're up against, because it's not going to be a case of him walking in and being able to do that gym in 2 days. You know, and they do good work, but they need, I think, Mike, what was it? They thought close to 10 days to do it right. And so our window just keeps shrinking all the time, so.
That's the way all your summer work is. It's got a sequence, or
Right.
it doesn't work.
Right. And that's why it was so frustrating when Cherokee wouldn't give us a quote back, so at least there was 2 of them to look at. And I contacted 3 other painting companies, but the scope of the job was more than they wanted to take on. Most of them were
I might be honest with